Martin Tyler's line. It was like FIFA 2009 or something. And Tevez, with his Bulldog-Like approach.
Oh my God, yes.
Do you remember?
Hello, hi, welcome. Here we are, reminding you I love football, an award-winning podcast from MUNDIAL. We can only probably talk about that award for another 4 months.
Yeah.
And despite having two producers, the lazy bastards haven't entered us into anything else. So we'll never know, will we?
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Next time.
I'm your host, Owen Blackhurst. He isn't your host. He is James Bird, and he is Tommy Stewart. Yeah, we are an award-winning podcast. Listener's choice at the Pod Bible. Didn't have an awards ceremony.
No.
So can it be a real awards if there's no ceremony?
Nothing physical either.
I'm taking it.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair...
We seem to be taking it. We mention it at the start of every single...
It was a fun...
Yeah, but it's just there, and I haven't changed the intro. It's probably on me to change that. But
It was a fucking landslide, to be fair.
it was a landslide.
Absolute landslide.
Yeah, but I saw the voting from the back end, which I won't reveal, but tell you what, they came out in force. The MUNDIAL Army.
The listeners?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. From Newport Pagnell, from Glasgow, from the Cornish uplands, from the Kent Straits. Out they came and they voted. I tell you what, Wrighty's house, shit 'em.
We did.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Exceptional. I tell you what, you won't want to fuck with the MUNDIAL Army.
Oh, God.
Give them a pint and a half of troll botherer. And an open return of a weekend round the country. And I tell you what, they'll take on anyone. Millwall, shit 'em.
And I'll be called Seb by Sunday.
High performance, shit 'em.
I'm just laughing at pint-and-a-half.
Yeah. Pint and a half of troll bother. They'll be fucking kicking the heads out of people in athleisure at service stations all around the country. You high performance, are you? You DOAC? Why has he shortened it to that? Diary of a CEO made sense. He's changed to DOAC.
I know, God.
What the fucking hell's that?
And you dared to come to Clapton away.
You're fucking DOAC and you come down here with your Huel. Bring your fucking Huel round here, you cunts.
He's on the road to getting cancelled, isn't he?
Nah, I like him.
Do you?
Yeah. Good old-fashioned old-school grifter. Love him.
I liked I used to
He's got
really
a channel
like him.
now.
Has he?
So since I got rid of Sky, because I was paying an exorbitant amount a month and not watching it, and replaced it, like any sane human being with now TV sports subscription, my TV defaults to Samsung TV, which is like a million channels.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like it's Freeview, basically.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
It's got its own channel.
Yeah.
Is it?
DOAC. Yeah, it's a set up in a studio, a bit like this, you know, a few shelves and stuff like that. And he records his interviews in there.
Trio of legends.
It's fucking... Well, it's just it's mano a mano. Mano a womano. Persono a persono.
Yeah.
Theos at theos.
Very good.
I've got a new energy sitting in this middle seat. For anyone who watches this, I've changed. We'll get to why in a minute, but I'm in the middle and I feel like Henry VIII. It's fucking great. I got the jester to the right of me, the jester.
Yeah.
My
This is going to be good.
Loyal scribe. My liege.
A loyal scribe, my personal poet, a master of whispers.
Like Littlefinger.
Yeah. Big old finger.
Wow. I can't quite believe you got rid of Sky just as they began to broadcast the Championship, League One and League Two on a regular basis. The unmissable Bolton versus Preston. I saw an advert for
950 games live every weekend. Oh, so you are truly in the death spiral now of making sure people do not go to stadiums. So I have a very good friend, James Wright, having a little bit of a rant about it on his Instagram story. Someone who goes to...
He's a man of whispers, not me.
He would be my man of whispers, actually. You're the scribe. You're the dancing jester.
Ah, my liege.
Seb's my knight who's always got a broken foot because he's dropped his helmet on it again.
The sickly knight.
Sickly knight.
The king is... The knight is
Sickly
sickly, but please, keep it
Sickly
surreptitious.
Sir Trump's a lot. Couple of reviews of this podcast. If you hadn't already decided it was your new favourite.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Where's J88? Up the MUNDIAL. A must listen for anyone who grew up watching football in the 90s. As said by many, a cross between a football conversation about random players from yesteryear that made us love the game, coupled with the conversation you have with your mates after a couple of drinks. It's a warm cocktail of classic soccer AM, old school Gillette soccer Saturday, goals on Sunday, and football Italia rolled all into one. And I'll be honest, Wes, that's the worst thing anyone's ever said. Thank you for the review. And I see what you've tried to do with the kicker, with the payoff.
Yeah.
You're vibing now, aren't you? The keyboard's dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
Pint-and-a-half in.
Actual LT. Welcome relief from politics and war, brackets, except when Seb goes off on a tangent.
Fair.
Probably my favourite podcast that I listened to. I found it late, and after listening to a few recent ones, I went back and I'm working my way through every episode, and it's been brilliant.
Oh.
It feels like you just sat down at the pub with your mates, not with us. Fucking me or Tommy, having a chat about football life and the minutiae of things. It's just wonderful. And I haven't laughed out loud as much listening to a podcast. I've got a big problem with this next bit of this review. When Owen takes the mick out of Seb, fine. Or James chimes in with a classic. He's never chimed in with a classic.
That's my whole fucking realm.
It just feels like you know them all.
Chip in with little
It
classics.
just feels like you know them all. You understand the jokes and teases like you're part of the crew. Chimes in with a classic.
Well,
That's my realm.
On that
Jackie Bird, 63.
on that note, yeah, I did.
You got a classic?
I did a speech at as best man for my best friend's wedding in Oslo the other week, and it went very well.
Did he only have one best man?
I'd had
Good.
I'd had just the right amount of troll botherer to be loose.
And it is troll bother over there.
Loose enough to really sort of own the mic, but not loose enough to drop the mic.
So you'd had half a pint.
And and anyway, when you got tears, you got laughter, you got family, you got friends, strangers. Went well. Did a little bit for each of those segments, and afterwards,
No doubt, bro. No doubt, it was good.
it was good. It was good. And afterwards, this a fellow attendee came up to me and was like, "Oh, that was great. I could listen to your voice for hours." And I was a bit pissed. I was just, well, girl, have I got the podcast for you?
69 hours.
Yeah.
A good segue into telling you that all of our episodes are timeless and available on your podcatcher of choice. Go to Spotify there because they're the nicest to us.
Yeah.
I saw this morning that today, the day we're recording this, is the 20-something, maybe 30th, don't know, 28th maybe, anniversary of Robbie Fowler scoring his 4-minute hat-trick against Arsenal. I believe Sadio Mane since broken that record, and it might have been broken again, but a belter. I remember it. I remember it happening at the time, and it was suddenly the flourishing of realising just simply how good a player Fowler was. It had been building, and that felt like his sort of fucking crowning moment at the time, because like Arsenal were a good team and people didn't score 4-minute hat-tricks in the Premier League. So I wanted to use that to say, what are your... Tommy recently claimed to have scored a hat-trick at five-a-side, and because he didn't have a microphone, I cut him short. So I am going to...
On the podcast?
Yeah, the one you were on. As the last one you were on, the most recent one, as part of the new me,
Yeah.
the more conciliatory, a people person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, what is two questions for all of us: the best hat-trick you've scored, and the best hat-trick and your favourite hat-trick you've watched. And I would like you to choose another one other than Ronaldo at Old Trafford. You've talked about it in 7 episodes, and that's nearly 10%. That's all.
Very true. Very true.
So, James, favourite hat-trick you've seen. Doesn't have to be in the flesh, and you can wait because I'll tell you mine. My favourite hat-trick is Dirk Kuyt's 9-yard hat-trick against Manchester United. It might not have even been that. 3 goals, all from within the box.
I remember it well.
The banter hat-trick. And I don't like saying the word banter, but it fits.
It does fit.
And I should say I love Dirk Kuyt. I loved how you can tell he's a decent person because he got the perfect ending to his career. Ended up back at his
Went home,
won stuff, scored another 25 goals at 38 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he got the perfect ending, and I would imagine Dirk Kuyt is a fucking great bloke and a great teammate.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. This isn't my favourite hat trick in the traditional terms of something bringing you pleasure, but I have to say, for Noni Madueke to post an Instagram story about my beautiful hometown Wolverhampton saying this place is shit, and then enter the field of play in the glorious Molyneux and dunk a hat-trick on us whilst celebrating wildly with a player we'd only sold to them 4 days ago in Netto, and then being interviewed afterwards about it, asked to say sorry, and he starts apologising and bursts out laughing. I mean, I was going to, when he posted that, I was going to do a big tweet being like, oh, well, and if you'd like to see the great sights of Wolverhampton, you could go and get some great Indian food here.
There aren't any.
You could go and get some lovely pulled pork here. Actually, there's a football exhibition on at the Art Museum at the moment if you want to go and see some real football after the game. And I'm very, very glad that I didn't post that.
Yeah.
Because he had you off, didn't he?
I'd have been, yeah.
He had the whole city off, really.
Yeah.
No way around it.
And just
But when you talk to people, do you say more Wolverhampton is a bit of a shithole, or I love it, it's a beautiful place? Just be honest for once. Be honest.
I'm very positive about Wolverhampton. And do you know why? A big reason for this is that since I remember fucking watching
you don't live
television, maybe because I don't live there, but since I remember watching television, whether it's fucking Have I Got News for You or whatever it is, Wolverhampton was always used at the butt of jokes. So let's say it's a Palmer and Serena
or Middlesbrough.
And he's like, oh yeah, and this man was found in an attic and he had 3 heads. And I'd look where it's from, Wolverhampton, of course. It's every time.
Yeah, no, it was a dirty word.
Yeah, so I do feel protective about it.
We all know Wolverhampton as well. That's somewhere that I grew. It was all my first gigs were in Wolverhampton at the
New Cross Hospital, man.
Civic.
I'm the only one here
Little
born.
Civic.
I'm the only one here born in Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
They had to ship you off, didn't they? Because you're funny shaped head. Warsaw, weren't you?
Dudley.
Dudley, yeah.
Dudley.
Were you Dudley?
It was because my mom was doing her nurse's training there, not because I had a funny shaped head. I don't know what the shape of my head is. I haven't had a skinhead ever.
Roswell.
I'm quite interested.
That's what it was.
Because yours is like a Malteser, isn't it?
Area,
It's like a size 4 Umbro ball.
you forget Area 51.
Size 5 at least.
Get Area 51. This was Area WV15.
Yeah, not bad.
Good.
James Bird, glowing green as he came out. What's yours?
Paul Scholes against Newcastle, 2003. It was that season where he was playing off Van Nistelrooy as the second striker. I think he got about 25 goals that season, and every goal in that hat-trick was brilliant.
Go on then.
Oh, there was one where Solskjaer assisted him with a little side. I remember him.
So brilliant, I'm going to have to look him up on the internet.
No.
2010, let's say, I went to watch Wolves versus Crystal Palace, Tuesday night game. I think it was in the FA Cup, actually. So I went with my mate whose cousin was a sub-goalie for Palace. I can't remember who it was.
Very quickly, I reckon that'd be a fucking ace football career.
Sub-goalie?
100%.
Sub-goalie, now for Crystal Palace.
Oh. Yeah, great.
Prem every week, home and away. You're probably mates with the fucking eagle that swoops around.
Well, it's like Alfie, the Spurs.
Comes and sits on you.
Alfie, the Spurs third keeper, who just does sets for NTS and that.
Wouldn't want to be
anyway,
third. Wouldn't want to be third.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, he's well cool. Anyway,
we should probably talk about him sometimes on our podcast.
Yeah, we should. Get him on. Yeah, I went, watched it. I think Wolves were expecting to win. Anyway, Danny Butterfield was playing left back for them, and he scored a hat-trick from left back. And the fucking stadium announcer, I'll never forget it, every time he scored, went, Danny! And the whole crowd went, Butterfield!
Brilliant. In terms of, and what about scored? In actual, like, proper, organised referees in a league, 11-a-side football, I think I scored 3 hat-tricks. Now,
wow.
As discussed before, I had to stop playing at the age
From centre midfield?
I was a striker at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Played anywhere.
Good players can play anywhere, James.
The best team I ever played in was Shrewsbury College, first 11, and it was fucking really good players. And the only way I could get in was playing left wing back, and I did. Played left wing back.
When did you go Shrewsbury College?
Scat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you go Shrewsbury College?
Yeah.
You might have been there when my brother was there. I wonder.
I started 4 different college courses after leaving school.
Yeah.
Quit them all. No, 3. Leisure and tourism at Bridgnorth College.
Yeah.
Quit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any qualifications. It was always going on the 1-year one, and they were too easy. So I'd finish my work in 20 minutes. And then instead of the teachers, it was like being back at school. Instead of the teachers going, Owen, John, they just chucked me out. Business studies the next year.
Quelle surprise.
Less.
Yeah.
And then did sport at Shrewsbury College. A load of us went. We used to get the bus from Bridgnorth in the morning, do a load of bongs on the way over.
Yeah.
The best hat-trick I scored was in about 16 minutes for the second half for Worfield in the Ironbridge and District Sunday League. I came on as I came at half time as a sub. Me and Frew came on. We turned to the game late. We'd been out, the night before after the Saturday night, the proper football. And the reason we turned up late because we knew it was going to be cold, and that meant we got to wear the amazing sub-suits Worfield had, like proper big pro ones.
Yeah.
So we were just fucking knocking it around. Anyway, we both came on, and
Were they like onesie?
yeah,
Yeah.
big fucking, like proper like Premier League style.
Umbro?
I can't remember.
Yeah,
I can't remember
right.
what they were. And I had a pair of Tiempos at the time, and I remember that
Oh.
because I remember the third goal, I hit it, and I remember the off the outside of the boot, because I'll be honest now, and I think I was then, I slightly I thought I'd miss-hit it, but it fucking arced away on the outside of my boot and over the keeper into the top corner.
That's what Scholes always says about his goal against Barcelona.
Slightly missed it.
He was like, it's not one of my best goals. I didn't hit it properly.
This is brilliant because in an upcoming issue of the magazine, we've got our dear ex-colleague Andrew Martin, a great writer to write about goals. And in that, he says that nobody remembers anything better than the goals that they've scored themselves. And you've just done fucking beat for beat
Yeah.
I could do
a goal that you scored
I haven't
30
played-
years ago.
like if we count my football career as being over at 21, and anything I've played since, I don't really count. I'll still remember the goals I scored in that time as well, but I will remember, I reckon 90% of the goals I scored. And I was playing for the youth club a lot, and we had a fantasy team. I spoke about who I dedicated a recent episode to, Gaz Jones. And,
Beautiful.
I remember all my goals for that. I wore number 10 Maradona. I remember all my goals for that, for them. And I would say, I remember goals I scored in training when I was coaching kids and stuff like that. Because if you make a 14-year-old go, oh, fucking hell.
Well, look
You're
at
gonna
Mark
remember
Hughes.
that.
Mark Hughes with City.
What, the volley?
Anyway, fire up the fucking fantasy violins and tell us about this hat-trick you scored.
Oh, it was nothing special. There was one near post, just flick. I just decided, I was like, I'm not sitting at the back.
I'm desperate
I'm
to
not
play
playing
football,
goal.
by the way.
Oh.
I'm
I
fucking
keep telling you to.
desperate. I've started looking at walking football.
Have
leagues in
you?
Kent.
Oh, my God. I'd
Yeah.
love you and the Gooseman to play together.
Because there's this game I've been told about, which is on a Sunday night, which isn't walking, it's non-contact, and it's a load of dads. But I think I've been blackballed because of a younger me a few years ago from some of my performances on a Thursday night game where I used to play with them lot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shut up, so-and-so, you little cunt.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of that.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not sure walking football is necessarily your forte. I think you just need to find a game.
I've been passing well, this game on Sunday night is the game, but I don't think they'll have me. I think I'm going to have to go and prove myself.
Just send them a new pic of yourself.
They know.
Do they? They've seen it all.
Anyway, back to your hat-trick.
Oh, it's not.
It's nothing
nothing
special.
special.
Mine's not in a proper game.
Oh,
You know, it's just seven aside.
They all count.
Back to the defender, receiving the ball from midfield. Just do, the Henry against United. Chipped it up for myself and volley on the
Nothing
turn.
special.
So, that one, even though it's seven aside with mates, that goal I will remember probably forever.
the Henry, we're calling it. Remember when Tommy did his Henry? After the Hoover. Not joining us today are Sebastian Dennis White, the big dog, and we're going to have to tell you he's got Oasis fever. So he saw Liam Gallagher at Reading on Sunday.
Yeah.
Did something amazing with a feed post and then a vocal from a different concert. And it was clearly difficult. And I think since then, he's tried to sell his house. He's told me he's going to go to several gigs in Europe. And I believe he's now in Turkey getting his wig done. Like Liam.
Yeah.
For the tour. So Seb's got Oasis fever, but it's probably...
Which is briefly is brilliant because we were in this very room not too long ago and he was going like, no, I wouldn't go and watch him again.
Well, that was me. I started that.
But he also said that, it's sacrosanct. It's stuck in my youth. It's a brilliant moment. And then it's going, well, I'll have to go to a couple in Europe.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this because I said at the time my main problem is being worried about the crowds, and also at the time I was probably thinking like they're a big band in my youth, and I'm not really one for necessarily trying to revel in my adolescence. I like to feel like I'm moving on.
Yeah.
But then I've thought about this, like, and I've sort of watched it happen and watched the noise and seen the excitement, and I was like. I saw Rev Swan of the Discord, a listener, put something up about I can't wait to be told how shit it is to like Oasis in the next few months. And like I completely agree on that. And like, no, I wouldn't say that. I think it's great if people 20 years younger than me got into them and want to go and watch them. I think it's amazing. It's only like me going and watching the Rolling Stones or wishing I could have seen the Clash or whatever and all these things. So that's fine. And I've started examining my own relationship thinking, now it's actually happening. Like, I'm happy to admit I'm wrong. And I've started thinking, so like the pros and cons of it now, you can chart your life, I think, by the most important bands. And no doubt for 2 or 3 years from Definitely Maybe through the first 3 albums, coincided with a time of my life that is magic in anyone's life, which is you go out, you're fucking 15, 16, 17, 18, you're going out, you're doing things, you're fucking getting into clothes, you're getting into all these things. And even though like my adolescence wasn't particularly happy because I was stuck in a situation I didn't want to be, they were a brilliant escapism. And what they also were was they weren't the fucking beery lad band that the crowds dictated they became afterwards. To begin with, it was like, wow, this is totally fucking different. Like, it was just completely different to what was going on, and it turned a negative music scene into a positive one straight away. And that was I remember that feeling. I remember the rush of it, and I remember walking around in fucking gazelles and a fucking Ben Sherman shirt and a peacoat, and taking pictures of fucking Ian Brown and Liam into hairdressers and getting my hair done like it and stuff like that. So I remembered all that, and I was like, that was a good time. And then I thought, I wonder if I listen to him every now and again, but it's sort of few and far between. So I stuck Definitely Maybe on in the gym last night, and then some B-sides, and I was like strutting around.
Yeah.
Strutting around like fucking.
They're such good songs.
And then I was like,
have you got a thermometer, Tommy? Because I think someone else has got a bit of Oasis fever over here.
But I was just thinking about it and then I saw Tom Armstrong before, and we were talking about it, and he was like, he's not going to try and get 500 quid tickets because he's seen Liam a couple of times, and so doesn't need the validation of it being Oasis. He never saw Oasis. And I'm like, yeah, well, I've seen him a couple of times, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't again. I just don't know. I'd imagine my brother will be trying to get tickets, and I haven't decided if I'm going to try and get any yet. But I now quite think I'd like to go with my brother, because I got him a ticket for Nebworth when he was 14, and then had to drive to Telford to badger the coach driver into saying, give us the ticket, give us the ticket, give us the ticket. No, you can't. It's a coach and ticket package. Me just, give us the ticket, mate. You're going to have to give us the ticket. He's 14. He can't come on your coach without me. And we just did his head in until he went, oh, for God's sake, fuck off. We took the ticket and we went. So I took my brother and he was 14.
I have a similar thing. My older brother used to get me
So
tickets.
a roundabout way, yeah, I'm probably going to go.
Yeah. My older brother got me tickets, so I want to try and make sure I get him tickets this time round, and his kids as well.
My only concern
It's a family thing.
is that I went twice. I went to Nebworth, which is obviously great. Don't remember a lot of it. Lost my mates. Fucking had a W.H. Smith carrier bag on my head as a hat because it was raining, and a bin bag I'd found on the floor, and a lot of speed. And then Familiar to Millions in 1999, the Wembley one, which was a live gig, and I think it was one of the last gigs at the old Wembley.
Yeah, yeah, I think it was.
And took a load of dog worming tablets, which we thought were pills. We bought them.
Oh,
Well, at least you didn't have worms by the end of it.
Tell you what, clean as a whistle. But it was fucking horrible. We stayed in 15 lads coming down from a provincial town in the Midlands to stay in. We stayed in Hammersmith. Who fucking stays in Hammersmith? Who goes to London and think, oh, I'm going to stay in Hammersmith? Like people who don't know anything about London.
Be cheap.
So we did
the Clash song?
Yeah, but no, it wasn't that. It was just like someone booked it and we all stayed in like a dorm, basically, all of us in one. It's fucking disgusting.
Disgusting.
But amazing. So with all that, and I'm like, I don't want to relive my youth. I hope it's not really aggro and cokey, but that's my concern. But I think it depends on who gets the fucking tickets and who's got the money to buy on the resale market.
Well,
that will dictate the crowds more than the people who want to go, I think. Oh, fuck me. Fucking hell. Someone sent me this before. That's why I forgot. Wojciech Szczesny retired yesterday after 15 years of football. Did you see this?
No.
Wojciech Szczesny's children are called Liam, his son, and daughter, Noelia.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Noel.
Yeah.
Noelia.
Why?
Noelia.
No, I didn't see that.
Wojciech
That's
Szczesny.
fucking amazing.
Fucking mad for it, Wojciech Szczesny.
Sort of checks out with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Always a bit loose.
Yeah. Very good goalkeeper as well. Brilliant goalkeeper.
Clearly caught the fever as well.
Some might say he's a fan. I just hope, Seb doesn't look back in anger at this period in his life.
Yeah.
Favourite song?
Instinctively live forever, but also acquiesce. The master plan.
That's three.
Masterman's call.
Oh, fuck. Live forever. Yeah, I've got to say live forever. I think it's one of the greatest songs ever written. Simple
For
chords. but
me, it's the one I sing the most is probably She's Electric.
beautiful. Oh, yeah.
I love the lyrics to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a B-side wanker because I could be. And say like Round Our Way or something.
Oh.
Like that. I mean, Columbia's exceptional. That was the first song I heard on the jukebox of the Bear Pub in Bridgnorth in 1994.
And you know
My mate Hilly put it on.
they mastered it louder, so it would come on louder than anything else in the jukebox. What was his name? Owen Morris. Yes. Yeah.
I found a picture of me and my brother yesterday sat in this old shitty sofa in my bedroom that I'd nicked off a skip. And my room is it's the same room in some of those photos I've shared. My room is such a teenage room. Like, there's a Liverpool squad photo, then a picture of some model, like, as was of the time, the men's mags pictures. You know, your Louise Nurdins, your Caprices.
Wow.
Them lot.
Yeah.
The Golden Girls. Yeah. Then on my radiator, I used to draw band logos on my wall, like in their official fonts and stuff like that. And then on my radiator, it says Oasis, because this is, I think Liam said it, or used to say it at the time. Oasis, better than Blur any day of the fucking week. But I'd even done the Blur logo as well.
A nice touch.
Yeah, in blue pen on my radiator.
A very nice
I used
touch.
to Tipp-Ex all that on my pencil cases.
Yeah, I bet you weren't one of them, though, weren't you? Fighting for pieces, like fucking for virginity. I can imagine. Look, girls, I really care.
Tommy.
Meat is murder.
Yes.
I think part of the version of that for us was our MSN Messenger statuses.
Yes.
I had all sorts on there.
Or your song on MySpace.
Yeah, that was our way of telling the world who we were.
Halcyon days. Sean Lee, hardest lad in the year, put on his status on MSN, Tom Stewart's getting beaten up tomorrow.
Did he?
I was like, what have I done?
Was he like,
Then I had to message everyone, like, get all the groups together, like,
he like-
bring everyone together to stand in front of me. Because I was like, I was the shortest lad in the year. I was like fucking 5 foot.
Why did he want to beat you up?
No, I still don't know.
You met him?
Yeah.
Imagine how annoying he was then.
Yeah.
Thought he was emancipated.
Oh no.
I had no pubes.
People should know,
either.
people should know that Tommy's turned up in an Oasis t-shirt today that he was wearing yesterday as well. The fucking dickhead.
Dug it out, didn't I?
Oh, you were wearing that yesterday, weren't you? That was yesterday on the call.
All right, I'll tell
I'm
the
only
truth.
surprised
I
you
had
don't have
something-
an Oasis tattoo.
I had something else on, and then I put this on last minute for the call. I thought, this'll get the conversation going.
Pathetic.
I know, yeah.
I know Brian quite well, who designed that. That's his handwriting, and he did the logo.
Gonna change my my WhatsApp status to Tommy Stewart's gonna get beaten up tomorrow.
Tommy Stewart wears dirty t-shirts.
Yeah.
No, I had it on for 10 minutes. Promise you.
They represented hope to me, actually, at a time
Yeah.
when... And also just like... Fucking grunge had been so miserable.
Yeah.
I reckon if I'd have stayed with grunge, I'd have been fucking...
Well,
I'd topped myself by the time I was 18. I had a fucking heroin addiction.
Well, Noel loved it. He loved Nirvana. He loved Never.
Like, a genuine
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
I might, yeah.
Noel loved Nevermind, but he wrote Live Forever because of the song title I Hate Myself and I
Yeah, and
Want to
that's
Die.
all right. You can like both things.
Yeah, yeah,
Nevermind's a brilliant album. I don't change it, but like Nirvana
Yeah.
was getting very,
100%.
very dark, overdoses and suicides and stuff like that. It's quite powerful stuff when you're a teenager and a little bit directionless.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
more so these days. But it was then as well.
Probably like Libertines for us.
yeah,
Not
for
as
sure,
extreme,
I mean.
but yeah, still. I
once tried to cut a French dog into my stomach at an after party. I was 16.
The old French dog blues.
Yeah.
You had them, did
tried
you?
to cut it into my stomach. Pair of scissors.
My-
At Ed's house.
Didn't even make a dent.
Ed wouldn't let me.
Didn't have the fucking
I
minerals.
kept trying. Ed wouldn't let me.
Didn't have the minerals, did you?
I think I did.
Look, girls.
My thing very quickly was my best mate who sadly passed away, Harry. Frank Sidebottom's son, you know Frank Sidebottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, when I first moved to Manchester, he was the first, I met him at like one of the first house parties I went to, like did a pill with him or whatever. And he was just so mank, so City, and so proud of like being a City fan, being into football and being into Oasis. And that was at a time when, you know, it was about 3 years after they broke up. So it was very uncool to like Oasis. And then I was like, I fucking love Oasis. Why would I pretend otherwise? So Oasis to me is my, you know, a lot, like when it's all come around, I was just thinking, I wish we were going together because he would be like the most excited person, which is why I'm sharing so much about it. It's always with that in mind.
When I met Tom before, Armstrong, he put it very, like he just said, I'm up for anything that fucking brings people together and makes someone have a good time together. And I was like, that's a brilliant way of putting it.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that is a great way of putting it in
There
it
you
because
go.
loads of people will get the most memorable nights of their lives up until that point. And they'll have been dying for it. because they'll have never have got to see them. They'll have spent 15 years, 15 years absolutely fucking gagging for it. And it shouldn't be for older people like me who saw them first time around to in any way, shape or form, try and rain on that. I'm glad I got to see them when they're at their best. There's loads of bands I haven't seen when they're at their best too. I'd have loved to.
Yeah.
So fuck it, why not?
Exactly, yeah. I saw them back end between 2000. I saw them 4 times, but it was from Don't Believe the Truth onwards.
More as a...
It wasn't bad. But...
More as a brother, I hope for their mum's sake, who's fucking 81 or whatever she is now, that it's an actual... Because I think all the kids have been knocking around together, haven't they?
Yeah.
And all the cousins have been knocking around together, and you kind of hope that for an 89-year-old woman, 2 of her 3 sons now speak. That'd be quite nice.
And what she went through and all that, fucking hell. I watched Supersonic again the other day. One of the great music documentaries.
I couldn't watch it for about a year because I knew, and I'd read a bit about the first, all the beginning. When they're talking over the Nebworth footage,
yeah.
I'm in that fucking crowd.
Yeah.
And I thought I'm not going to be prepared for this. And I wasn't prepared for it. I had to take a Valium, and then I sat there and watched it. And I think I burst into tears after about 18 minutes. Going, that's my fucking youth being transported to me there and talked over the top of.
I got shivers, man.
Should we talk about some football?
Should we do a music podcast as well? Yes.
What a life it would be. Come to mind
for tea.
Adventures in Clubland. Adventures in Clubland today. One of the best Premier League adventures. And it is Carlos Tevez at West Ham, 2006, 2007. I was thinking about this. What do I remember of the time? I do remember thinking, what the fucking hell are those two doing turning up at West Ham?
So that's my...
Because they were both...
As soon as you put those 2 words together, Tevez, West Ham, the thing that I see and think about immediately is him, Mascherano, both holding the shirts in front of them, and Pardew stood behind them both.
Big parts.
Yeah. They've both got massive grins on. Mascherano's got that brilliant gap tooth like grin.
Yes.
Tevez just looks fucking ecstatic to be there. I'm fairly sure Tevez is wearing like a new polo top that he's got.
Look.
All the buttons are undone.
Who was the agent? And we turned out we knew he was a baddie. Jarabachan.
Yeah,
he was Coutinho's agent as well. But I just remember it being like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Because they weren't they were known. Tevez and Mascherano were known by this point.
Yep.
Yeah, the polo
Lord,
the shirt.
Picture this is 32. God, I even remember.
It's not what brand's that with the big fork?
Hackett in it.
Hackett.
Yes,
Hackett.
Oh, so Carlos Tevez has gone. What do the Irons wear?
Exactly. Yeah.
And he's got a big. Has he got the collars up? No, thank God he hasn't got the collars up.
He's got one button undone. The big number 4 on the right breast.
Fucking sensational. So I mean, he loved them.
He did.
And it was the perfect club for him. I mean, if anyone doesn't know the up and down of the Tevez story, it's came in, scored 7, assisted 4. That's not important. 29 games, but through his level of performance, especially at the business end when they're in the shit, he played a large part in West Ham not getting relegated. There was, of course, the whole Sheffield United thing, which I'm not sure I necessarily want to delve in today. I think that's separate. That's not Tevez's fault.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go into the murky dealings of football, you have to go into it with every single goal, every single game, every single sponsor, everything that you like. You have to, or you just talk about the magic.
Plandemic.
No, but it's true, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah,
it's
no,
true.
I
or you
agree.
just talk about the magic of 2 foreign.
They weren't just known. Yeah. They'd played in the World Cup.
They'd had a good World Cup, hadn't they? Both of them.
Arriving at your door.
It was mad.
Being a West Ham fan, imagine them 2 coming in to save you.
Well, apparently, this is what I was going to say. We've got some notes here. Because we originally prepped this episode for a few weeks ago on the day of the 7 aborted records, and we could only record 1. So we're fresh in our mind here. They pipped Chelsea to Tevez's signature.
Yeah.
Apparently so. Yeah.
And do you reckon it's because Mourinho said, well, I'm not having both, and Rabachan was saying, well, it's 2 or none?
Yeah.
I would imagine he was shopping them as a pair.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, for a personally selfish note, I got to watch Javier Mascherano play at Liverpool for a couple of years, and he was fucking exceptional. And he formed part of what was a brilliant team.
Unbelievable team.
But was never quite good enough. Rafa was talking about it recently. He had
Oh, that was brilliant, that.
20% of the budget that United and Chelsea had at the time. So he was always trying to get people in and then having to fucking get people out and get more people in and stuff
Plan
like
when
that.
he'd sell them.
We talked about it with
What a
Torres.
brilliantly peculiar man.
Yeah.
Benitez.
Benitez.
He
Really
does
funny.
does one big joke,
Yeah.
just throws Carragher under the bus,
Yeah.
and then just talks about his spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Fucking mental. I just stopped listening to it.
And of course, I saw Tevez at United for a few years. He was my favourite player.
I fucking love Carlos Tevez. I love everything about him. I was absolutely desperate when Suarez left Liverpool for us to replace him with Tevez, but he went to Juventus instead. And fair play to him. And he was brilliant at Juventus. They didn't win anything, but he scored a lot of goals and showed up brilliantly. He's everything I want really in a footballer. Fucking hard worker, skillful, mad.
Yeah.
Like, takes no fucking shit. And we must have talked about it on this podcast before, but, and I will talk about it every time, when people moralise about footballers going to, like, when he went to China and stuff like that, and he gave an interview saying, I'm responsible for 23 families, and every one of them now, because of the moves I've made, do not have to live in the favela anymore.
Yep.
So fuck you, sat in your fucking Georgian townhouse, telling me how I should live my life.
Yep.
Fucking good. I mean, he didn't say that, that's me.
No, yeah.
But, you know,
you're right.
me and Carlos. Like that.
No, exactly the same. Exactly the type of sportsman I like to watch, because you can see with every action of everything that they do during the sport that they're playing,
How much they love it.
all the love that they have for it. He looks like he was enjoying it, and so many footballers don't necessarily look like they're enjoying it. It's the privilege, man. When I play football, I'm just like, oh, this is the best moment of the week for me.
Yeah.
And it still looked like that
But
for
how
Tevez, who whatever. Trains however many hours a week, play at pressure, money, all of this stuff. He still looked like he enjoyed the game that he was playing, and that's what made him special.
And how often, not very often, but we catch ourselves, if ever we're moaning about doing what we do, it's like, hang on a minute, it's a fucking privilege. People would
absolutely.
People would walk over hot coals to do what we do.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's like, he transmitted that every day. And I think, when it's not just the upbringing he's had, it's like, South American footballers have a hard route to the top. And that pressure, knowing that, fuck me, if I make it, I'm going to have to take everyone there with me. I'm going to take all of them with me.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. But the goal against United is the famous one.
Yeah.
And a belter smashes it high into the net. And
Unbelievable.
Fucking celebrates fucking maniacally.
His hair just going everywhere like that as he runs towards the crowd. That's the thing I remember. A big grin and the hair.
Yeah. And I remember the discussion around it at the time was whether, because we'd already won the league, and the discussion was, because of the relegation battle, would Fergie rest his team for I think we were still in Europe at the time, but to be fair to Fergie, he still played like a full strength team, and he's never going to instruct his team to not fucking try their best, is he, Alex Ferguson? But they won, like, he won that day. I remember watching it so well, and all you're thinking whilst he's playing us at Old Trafford, it was almost like an audition. Not that he was thinking that in his head, but you can just imagine what Ferguson's thinking whilst it's all happening. He's like, I've got to have him, because he tore us a new one. Everything he did that day was perfect, and of
It's
course,
just electric. I mean, and West Ham fans at the time were crying out for a player like him as well.
yeah.
He can make players at the biggest clubs. He can make fans at the biggest clubs in the world fall in love with him. Juve's, Bocas and things like that, because of the way he transmits the fans' energy on the pitch. But they see that more often.
Yeah.
Well, not more often, but you know what I mean. But like West Ham, and they've had some cult figures, but they were fucking crying out for him. And I think the biggest thing for me is just those pictures you showed there. There's pictures of Carlos Tevez at every stage in his life since doing the fucking irons. Like, just in random fucking...
Yeah.
So my favourite story about Tevez, and I was back on the forums. I was back having a look. Yeah, I mean, brilliant.
When's that?
City.
He's in a city. Look.
So this is my story.
I think you told me.
I told
this.
it you.
Go on.
There's a brilliant story on a West Ham forum that I was looking at, full of just blokes doing what they do, which is getting home, getting on the internet and talking to other men about football, from the safety of their own home. And this bloke said that it was the first time he took his wife to a match, and it was when Tevez was at City, and I think West Ham were getting ploughed, and he, halfway through the second half, he said Tevez sort of got up off the bench to start warming up, and as he got up, he looked around at the Man City bench, looked towards the West Ham fans and just crossed his arms and went, Irons! Magnificent story.
Well, we should...
Imagine seeing that. Imagine being in the crowd and watching him do that.
Owen, do you want to read out what he said?
It was an incredible feeling. It was like love at first sight. I felt that I had to give something back because they gave me such a warm welcome. I remember whenever I was on the bench and not coming on in the game, the fans always called for me. But as I said earlier, it was love at first sight on both sides. There's no other fans like at West Ham because they give it all for the club. The message I have is to keep the same passion that I know they've always had. This was my first club in Europe, so it was like my first love. Being in a club where the fans are so passionate and have an unconditional love for the team makes it totally different from any other fan base. They just got it. Sometimes things just work, don't they?
Yeah.
And sometimes things really don't work.
Yeah.
Like sometimes player and fan base are oil and water from the off, and you can see it. So we've got a couple of voice notes here, and we're gonna first we're gonna pass over to Sam Delaney, very good friend of Tommy's, someone I've crossed paths with a couple of times when I was at Sabotage, and his brother Theo used to write for us as well. You know, doing a lot for giving men good advice on dealing with mental health and being sober and stuff like that. And a fantastic raconteur, if I remember rightly. So, firstly, we're going to have Sam Delaney, a lifelong Hammer, talk about Carlos Tevez.
I remember the day in the summer of 2006 when Mascherano and Tevez both signed for West Ham in a double deal, because I was sat at home trying to complete a very important and pressing work deadline, and we were trying to sign Steve Malbranck from Fulham, and we were in some sort of transfer battle with Tottenham Hotspur over it, and that was the big story on the last day of the transfer window as far as West Ham were concerned. And there was a bit of banter going on between West Ham and Spurs fans as who'd get Steve Malbranck. And then suddenly out of the blue, I go online and it's like, fuck Steve Malbranck, we've just signed Carlos Tevez, the world's greatest striker. Plus Mascherano just had an incredible World Cup. I remember that I got so excited that I just stopped doing the work that was due at the end of that day and spent the rest of the day sketching out teams and scenarios like a little boy might, in which Carlos Tevez won us the FA Cup and League double. In fact, despite the fact that I was a grown adult at the time, I think I remember getting a football out and playing inside my flat and commentating on myself, pretending to be Carlos Tevez scoring against Chelsea in the FA Cup final. So, yeah, it had a strange impact on all of us, is what I'm saying. He got off to a very slow start, as is well documented, and Alan Kirbishley finally gave in towards the end of the season and decided that perhaps, yes, he was better than Marlon Harewood. And he came into what became known as the Great Escape, where we won so many games in our final run-in that we cheated certain relegation. Although, of course, it wasn't cheating, it was fair and square. It was only Sheffield United, Sean Bean, Neil Warnock and all those other Wallies who tried to take matters into their own hands and literally sue us for being better than them. It was a very peculiar time. Anyway, Carlos Tevez is a cult hero, despite the fact that he barely played many games for West Ham. He remains in the sort of Hall of Fame of West Ham cult heroes. Every fan who followed us that season, which I did home and away, remembered what a great player he was. He didn't score as many goals and assists as Henry Winter and the other people who testified against us in the subsequent trials suggest. It was actually Bobby Zamora who scored most of the goals that kept us up. But it was more than just his stats. It was the way in which he played with such passion and apparent love for a club he'd only just arrived at. A great man, a great player, and special memories. And I'm sure Spurs were happy with Steve Malbranck ultimately. Good luck to him.
Fantastic. And to lead us out, we wanted to get a voice note from a different end of the age spectrum. So we went to Yanni, otherwise known as Yarn9 on social. One of the... Yanni's a broadcaster, like writer, host, amateur footballer, does NFL, does football, works in our parent company fronting a brand called Front 3, where it's a lot of fucking quizzes and stuff like that. But one of the good guys, very funny, great energy, good to be around, a good person.
Knows ball,
and likes us because we know ball.
Yeah.
I remember he said to us, I was reading MUNDIAL years ago, it's great to be in the same company. And I was like, didn't expect that because he's a bit younger than our target audience. But yes, knows ball. And so Jans, take it away.
We make a couple signings, these two random Argentinians called Javier Mascherano and Carlos Tevez. I'm seeing the number 32, thinking, wow, like, don't know anything about these geezers, but we'll see. But even though I didn't know anything, in hindsight, I knew there was a little something special in there. We were just dross, mate. We were just battling relegation. Clearly, we had to get saved by the skin of our teeth on the last day, thanks to Carlos Tevez, 7 goals in the last 9 games. Just an absolute terrier. Young Carlos Tevez, burn marks all over his face. You think, you have come to the right club, my friend. And so, hold tight, fucking Carlos Tevez. One of my favourite players of all time.
Do you remember
What's your favourite?
on FIFA? Martin Tyler's line. It was like FIFA 2009 or something. Every single fucking time Tevez got the ball, you just go, and Tevez with his Bulldog-like approach.
Oh my God, yes.
Do you remember?
You have just taken me straight back
First year
to my
of uni.
brother's bedroom. Oh my God.
Picture the scene. What was on the walls in Tom Bird's bedroom in
I'll
2009?
tell you exactly what was on the walls.
Go on.
Okay, so Tom's bedroom,
This is the stuff.
double bed here, yeah, TV there, just FIFA in it, only FIFA. Now, to the left of that is a dartboard on the wall with the rubber ring around it where, I don't know, 3 times a week, me, Josh, Bowen, Tom, darts tournament.
All the lads.
3, 4,
All the lads.
All the lads. Psh, psh, psh. To the right of that is a poster for Baby Shambles' Shot as Naked, which famously has Kate Moss naked on it.
Yes, it does.
There's Tom's room for you.
Class.
Great.
A couple of cricket statues.
Socks covered in spunk all over the floor.
A couple of cricket trophies on the windowsill.
Not socks, sleeping bags in that house.
Yeah, football socks.
Fucking hell!
Pot noodles.
Pot noodle. Yeah, Pringles.
That's disgusting, Tommy. And do you know what else there was in Tom's
Noseball.
room? Do you know what
Noseball.
else there was? This is the last thing I'll say. Also in Tom's room was a wardrobe to the right of the double bed. Now, after I'd passed my driving test, I used to drive us to school every now and again because me and Tom, always late for the coach, would miss the coach. Yeah, I know.
You guys.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so I used to be like, right, well, I'll take you in the car, and I remember this very specifically. I went into the bedroom. Tom was late, and I was eating some cereal, and I just put like a new shirt on, or something, like a clean one. I never, useless, but I'd found a clean shirt, and I was eating some cereal. And I went in and I was like, Tom, can you fucking hurry up? Like, if I'm late again this year or whatever, I'll get a phone call or whatever it is. Like, can you just hurry up? We've got to get in the car. And as he walked past, he just fucking nudged me like that. And the milk went all over my just clean shirt. And I was so angry, I had to release something. And I just, instead of booting him, I just booted a hole straight through his wardrobe door. Still there until about 3 or 4 years ago, that was. I had to show Matilda, I had to be like, oh, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, every single one of my panels on my wardrobe was like fucking booted in. But you just saying that, like nudging past each other.
Oh.
I remember shit like that. Like, all 3 of us are close to our brothers, aren't we? And talking of Oasis as well, that pettiness.
I remember hammering on my brother's bedroom door once, right? When my parents were away.
Yeah.
My mum and my stepdad, and banging on it. And I just went through, and he was behind it, and he just landed on top of him. and me on top of it. And us both at the same time snapping out of the round going, fuck, how are we going to get this back up now? Bang, bang, back, straight fucking through it.
It is a very sort of special, strange relationship.
I remember
isn't it?
I just passed my driving test. like a fucking week, I'd passed my driving test.
My brother used to charge me for lifts. He's 4 years younger than me, but he learned to drive before me. He had the blue flash.
Yeah.
The Fiesta, yeah.
Well, I had
£2 that, Owen. Sorry, mate.
I had turtle
He used to
head.
charge me dad extra for hash as well. Put an extra 10% on top of it.
Legend. I remember
Forgot about that.
because I'd passed track.
17.50 to you.
Commission.
Oh
interest
my
on that,
God.
so, I'd been driving a week, so I thought that qualified me to teach.
Teach your brother.
My 15-year-old mum and dad went out, so I was like, "Come on, let's get in the fucking car."
Not only doesn't
And he
it...
didn't understand the clutch or anything, and we just very slowly drove into the corner of the house. I was like, Rich! stop! Like, that's the brake, not the fucking clutch! And we were just going at like 0 miles per hour, and then we went in really
Just rested
slow. I was
against
like,
it.
Yeah. I went, no!
Oh my god.
Don't fucking tell mum and dad.
Oh my god.
Brothers.
Exceptional.
Brothers.
Oh, wow.
Back by popular demand, and by popular demand I mean no one has come in and said we shouldn't do it again. So it is the big match. We introduced this to the podcast. It had been gathering dust down the side of the front section of the magazine Ideas. And anyway, recently we talked about the Queen Vic FC, and it got a very good response. So we've delved into the Football on Film archives, and I'm going to hand over to my colleague and friend James Bird to talk to you about Bend It Like Beckham.
I think that for anyone who has seen the film, it was obviously very revolutionary at the time when it was released in 2002. There's a lot in there in terms of gay coupling, in terms of interracial coupling, in terms of who football is for and who society has previously perceived that it's not for, etc., etc. It was also, it's directed, it shouldn't matter, but it does matter, and it was directed by a British Indian of Kenyan origin, Gurinder Chadha, who's also a woman. These are all big motifs. And on top of all of that serious stuff, it was the highest grossing UK financed film at the box office ever at that moment. Yeah. So
I've talked about this before. I fucking love British films.
Oh,
Yeah.
Even the shit ones. I love
Yeah.
British films. It's familiar.
fine, great,
Same.
I love them all.
Love Actually,
You-
brilliant, get it on,
Well, no, but also like your Kinky Bootses
great,
and your Little Voice.
great.
Little Voice when what's her name? Jane Horrocks,
I've not
the
seen
singer.
it.
Anita and Me, brilliant.
Oh, Dead Man's Shoes.
Anyway,
So that's all the serious stuff, and that is serious stuff, and I think that that's why it matters, and I think that all of those things resonate if you watch it now for the first time, or if you rewatch it having not seen it for 22 years, because I rewatched it recently, and I was blown away by it, to be brutally honest. All the jokes that I remembered about juicy mangoes and the sort of like, you can't play football, you don't even know how to do an aloo gobi. Like, brilliant. Remembering those sort of like reminded me of watching 40 Towers when I watch it with my dad, and I see the jokes, and I remember the jokes that I've forgotten about, and it, gives you a nice feeling of nostalgia, I guess, which is something that everyone searches for.
do you know what aloo gobi is?
Yeah, cauliflower
And
and potato.
yeah, very quick aside. Inzamam-ul-Haq, the Pakistani batsman,
yeah.
once went into the crowd in a game against India because the fans were calling him Mortu Aloo, which is a fat potato.
So, yeah, and you wouldn't want him coming towards you.
He went in with a bat.
Yeah, my dad. So
Mortu Aloo went in with a bat.
there's a couple of things that my dad does around the house. One of them is, for some reason, he goes,
Calls your mum a fat potato.
He does clapping and then goes the ip switch. He'll do it at 5 o'clock in the morning. Me and my brother, the ip switch. Just does that.
Why?
Just does that. Don't know. But this is.
He's from Wolverhampton.
This is dead true. And the other
Just
thing,
loves Kieran McKenna.
no, this is 100% true. The thing he does around the house is he'll walk around going, Inzamam-ul-Haq. I think he just used to love watching Pakistan in like the early 2000s, not in the 90s. Anyway, back to Bend It Like Beckham. So
Big Inzy, man.
lots of serious stuff. On a rewatch, I realised that, I think that anyone would deeply enjoy watching it for the first time or watching it again. Now, this is the big match, so we need to talk about the big match, which is the sort of final set piece of the film where Jasminda has to be at her sister's wedding, but there's the final.
It's your full Monty's on stage. It's your Ray Liotta in the car and Goodfellas looking up and seeing the helicopter.
Yeah.
It's the
it's the cinema in Inglourious Bastards. It's all of the things coming together in ideally in one place.
all the characters from the film arrive in the same place for the denouement.
Exactly that. So
Should we do a bloody film podcast?
yeah, I would love to do a film podcast.
Kermode and Mayo. You fucking Kermode and Mayo, are you? We'll fucking have you. The Mundial Ultras will have you.
pint-and-a-half.
Simon Mayo actually
Get those
records it, doesn't
cunts. Get those cunts a fucking Odeon membership card. They'll shit them. Anyway, on we go.
So you've got the brilliant. I would argue that this is the most well done and iconic football scene in a film that I have ever seen. So you've got the contrast between the setup of the Indian wedding and all of the brilliant, cliched, but the colours and the music and the sounds that are going on, the traditions that are going on there, with a football match that is going on a final. And if you speak about the sort of colours, the sounds of the Indian wedding, you've then got that contrasting with the brilliant, really, really well done colours, brands, sounds of an amateur grassroots football match. They're all immaculately dressed, but there's an agreement here that there's no brand bias throughout the film, because the coach walks out and he's wearing a mitre drill top. The physio's wearing a Kappa soccer oversized white t-shirt. The assistant is wearing a mitre or the opposite of whatever I just said the coach is wearing. Every different shot, someone's wearing Champagne Addy Predators. The next one, it's Knighty Empos. Keira Knightley, Jess, the character, she does up Copper Mundials in the sort of the lead up. Anyway, so you've got Jasmine are quite sad at the wedding and the game going on here, and then you've got one of her relatives who says to her, we can still get you there for half time now if we leave. And the dad overhears the conversation and says, look, you've had a smacked face the whole time. If it's the only thing that's going to make you happy is to go and play football, get in the car. Boom, the tempo changes. From Texas's Inner Smile to some brilliant Bhangra music. There's people getting off in the corners of the toilets at the wedding. There's mad relatives dancing together. There's the drums coming out. Then you've got Jess in the car. She's taking a sari off. Underneath it, she's got a pair of red Adidas shorts on. The heels come off, and the Predators, they're going through past Heathrow. British Airways plane flies over. It's that iconic millennial optimism, British millennial optimism. Things after years and years of garbage in terms of politics and money and everything are sort of coming to these brilliant moments. And I mean, she gets to the game. The final sort of set piece of it is a free kick that she gets to take. And the ball is, it's in that brilliant place where if you're practicing free kicks in the back garden,
it's the place.
Put it. Yeah, it's the place.
We're in Beckham country.
We are in Beckham country here,
left
brother.
of the D.
We are in
outside
Beckham
the
country.
box.
Drive carefully.
We're in Blackhurst country.
And I mean, it's a really it's a really, really simple moment. But I mean, for clarity to anyone listening, the three of us have just rewatched this scene. I think all of us had tears in our eyes for different reasons. But there's the brilliant and really, really simple motif that they do, which is just Jasmine is looking at the goal and she's looking at the ball, about to take the free kick, and the wall in front of her changes from the opposition players to her sister and her mom and her nans dressed in their saris, their aunties, sort of in the wall looking, angry that she's not at the wedding. And the ball goes in. Keeper should have saved it. What's playing at that point?
Was it Nessun Dormer?
It is Nessun Dormer.
Dornham?
It's Nessun Dormer.
Yes, and dormant.
Which, by the way,
you're not going to tell us it's a good song.
Which, my brother who knows no Italian knows every single word to it. He sang it in front of Matilda because he had to do it for choir or whatever. And Matilda was just like, this is like 10 years ago, so Matilda was just like, Tom, how do you know? How do you know that? It was just like, it was just no. I'm just saying the noises that I hear when you sing it, when other people sing it.
The noises.
Wait, he's not doing the words. He's not doing the words. He doesn't know the words. He's just repeating what he's heard.
Yes.
The ball hits the back of the net. Keeper should have saved it, but that's by awful keeping. Assad put that in his notes.
Yeah.
Next to also how the film has a very, very special place to him, because it was one of the first times that he saw people who looked like him in British film doing things that he was, he did.
Yeah.
What year was The Football Factory? 2004. The dad in this,
Keira Knightley's dad,
in his Ralphie.
Yeah.
The next time we see him in a football film, it's 2 years later, and he's going, "See you can't. I'll cut you first."
I can't remember the actor's name.
The actor's name is Frank Harper.
Yeah.
He's good. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Frank Harper. And
you fucking sigh.
Yeah. See you. I'll cut you first.
Yeah.
But on the other side of it, I have obviously I'm married into an Indian family. All my in-laws are Indian. My wife is Indian. And I've learned loads from spending a lot of time around India. It's a lot about family and duty and India as a country. And I've got to have some amazing food. My mother-in-law has made me some, like, she loves nothing more than bringing me over. She knows I love aloo matar, which is potatoes and peas. And parathas, she makes world-class parathas. But I went to an Indian wedding in India. We flew over, and the people whose wedding it was, they got some wedge. Like, I mean, I don't know, like top 100 richest families in a rich, very rich country, something like that. They just booked our whole hotel for a week. Yeah, and we're fucking all there. My brother came, me, my missus. We were all fucking there, and it was class. And we weren't meant to be booze sold on the wedding day, so there was there'd been a whole covert operation by the organising committee, so the elders didn't find out that all these little water bottles being passed around was like, you just needed to know by colour. I'll have a brown one. That was whiskey. So everyone was passing them around.
Great.
But I can't remember the name for the bit of the ceremony, and it's just when the bride and groom just sit off for a bit, and people just go and sit and look at them. Wow. And it's not the official ceremony. And I went and did that for a bit, and there was some fucking harp or something playing. It was one of the most peaceful things ever. Anyway, they split up now. But and I have never seen a spread of food like it.
I bet.
There was 30 different cuisines, and unfortunately for me, I drank fucking ice in a bar in the city, which my missus always says to me, no ice, Owen, and no salad. Like anything that's been washed, like you've got to take care. Your stomach hasn't built up to it. You didn't grow up there.
Yeah.
Fucking me, down in vodka and tonics and ice when I fuck me. Got E. coli.
Oh,
did you?
Fucking hell.
I don't know what else to say apart from I love a British film. I love a British film that is representative of life, because there's a Britain that some people would like you to believe that Britain should be, but there's a Britain also. Of course, there's a Britain where, people don't mix, and there's parts of the country that have sort of been ghettoised, whether by circumstance or choice or by government decisions. But there is a world where, like, people mix and people marry into different fucking cultures and stuff like that. And I do recognise that Britain, that does, it does exist when you go places, you see it all the time. So I think if you grew up in would be a fairly, I suppose, a normal working class place, like your Sheffields and Full Monty or wherever, to see that represented on film for the light, nice version of it with a bit of drama thrown in, it's just fucking great. I don't, as much as I love fucking Hollywood films. Give me all of them, inject all of them, give me fucking all of them. But I'll tell you what, to see some bloke with a funny accent having to turn to stripping because he can't pay the rent and stuff like that, and you people like that, and it's the same in this, like, it's just to see normal people triumphing against things that don't really seem insurmountable, but are insurmountable because of society and stuff like that. It's just fucking great. I'm going to have to watch the whole film again.
Same. My favourite film on these lines of what pretty much the themes you were just saying, Brastoff.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the most beautiful films ever made.
All of them.
Like,
it's about the band, isn't it, Brastoff? Little voices similar.
With Pete Postlethwaite, who Spielberg said is the greatest actor of all time.
The world isn't going to end in this film. No one's racing to save the world but it's those small actual moments that mean more than that. Playing in a final, your sister's wedding.
Yes.
These are the actual big things.
And those dilemmas as well.
Yeah.
Like when a big match collides with a family do.
If you haven't seen it, and don't just let it envelop you in its loveliness, it's not the film you think it is. Forget that Keira Knightley became a big star out of it, or you think it's a bit this or a bit that. It's not. It's brilliant.
All right, I'm Charlie Cooper. You might recognise me from BBC Show This Country, but I'm here to tell you how much I love MUNDIAL magazine. For me, it's the fanzine of football, documenting the best of football culture forever. I'm very proud to admit I've been a long-term subscriber of MUNDIAL for years now. But if you subscribe, you don't just get the magazine, right? You get loads of other perks, too many to mention, in fact. So join Club MUNDIAL at mundialmag.com.
I'll do a quick ins and outs. So I complained on this parish recently about not being able to find new music. I haven't found new music, but I started listening to a lot of Fela Kuti again. I had a right dance through London last week, and then someone ruined it by pulling my hair. But we won't talk about that. But then I found...
Oh no, what happened to the person that pulled your hair?
Well, I knew them, so I couldn't fucking smack them.
You don't like being startled either?
No. Well, I don't think many people do.
No,
I don't think I've been run up behind in Soho. I'm in the middle of dancing to fucking Fela Kuti.
Bless you.
I haven't.
But like, I got served up in an algorithm the other day. An Algerian composer called Ahmed Malik, and I shared it round, and it is fucking sensational. I think he's really fucking popular because he gets a shitload of listens a month on Spotify, but I didn't know him.
Wow.
Fucking, it's on.
Do
Honestly,
you know how much I was hoping you were going to say a little known band called Church Party?
He's never listened.
I know.
I think I might have heard one once.
It's all good. Come on, tell us about this.
Nothing
fella.
special.
No,
No, I didn't say that.
I don't think it is.
Yeah,
I
well,
just enjoy it.
I don't know. The easy thing to be would be to say he's like the Algerian Morricone, but only because he's a brilliant composer as well. But I'll tell you what, fucking have a listen.
Oh,
Go on.
great.
Have a listen. So yeah, that's it.
Lovely. Very nice.
Tommy.
Phone Shop, which
The show?
yeah,
fucking hell.
which I've never watched before.
Only Fools and Horses.
Honestly, have you guys seen it? Because I've been asking loads of people.
Probably 10 years ago now.
No, I'd never watched it. I thought it looked shit at the time.
That's funny.
And my mate, when I was in Stockholm, I was staying at his, and he's been trying to tell me to watch it for about 4 years. And he said, right, this is the chance. I want to watch it with you.
Yeah.
And we sat down and watched 5 episodes. You know what?
Laughed your heads off.
It's fucking brilliant.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so you know Kayvan Novak?
Yeah.
He's only on 2 episodes, but they are 2 of the greatest episodes of fucking TV I've ever seen. When he's playing that sort of Tony Montana character, but with phones and talking about the elite phone selling career.
Keep it cool, Trig. Keep it cool.
Yeah. Fuck off. But it's all on YouTube. It's all free. It's all free. It's all on YouTube.
Four candles.
Fuck off. Aha.
Can I tell you about a little comedy troupe called The Goons? You know.
No, but it's more niche. It is more niche, and I missed it first time round.
Have you heard of Monty Python and his flying circus?
They've got this brilliant. He does a silly walk.
Oh no, but you know how people.
Charlie Chaplin.
Fuck off. All right.
It's not in.
I should have not gone over.
But,
I'm not sure what I've put for this one.
you've put raw dogging the car.
By which I mean.
I mean, I get it. I think I get it.
Yeah,
The modern parlance.
by
No
whi-
music.
By which no. So my phone's broke, isn't it? And the sat nav in the hire car was not working. Last Friday after work, James Burr's got to drop off the hire car at City Airport from my house, 7.9 miles, E50NL, City Airport, 7.9 miles. Just before I leave, I go, oh my God, I haven't got a sat nav. I haven't got a map. I'm going to have to raw dog it.
Use road signs. That's not raw dogging.
Exactly. No. This is right. It's raw dogging. I'm doing it the old school way.
For our
Raw dogging.
generation, it is.
This is
though.
raw dogging. And I never drive a car without a sat nav.
We always had sat navs.
Yeah, just tells me where to go. So in the car, I had a little look at the map beforehand. I'll go through Victoria Park, A12. Jumped in the car, Radio 6 on, raw dogged the fuck out of it, and got to City Airport. No
Did you
problem.
enjoy it?
God, flights, got planes going over.
Oh, it's like Beckham all over again.
Giles Peterson coming through, interviewing some people at all points of the start. We're having a great time.
Billy Bright in the back seat going, "See you, you can't."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It just felt good. It felt good to feel something.
Did you see that?
I felt accomplished. I felt like I wasn't a robot. I felt like there wasn't a computer parasite inside me going, this is where this way you go. I had to work things out for myself. You don't have to do that very much anymore.
True.
How do I get to Waterloo from here? You type into City Mapper.
Yeah.
You never raw dog that, do you? When was the last time you raw dogged a walk from A to B? I'm not talking a wander. I'm talking A to B.
Yeah, all the time.
When?
I mean, most times I'm in London.
But no. Somewhere you go and you've never been before. Like you don't know the way to it.
Yeah, I walked by Mayfair last week. I got back from Mayfair to the office.
And you raw dogged it.
Yeah.
Respect. How did it feel?
Respect.
Well, fine.
All right. Did you feel something?
Hey?
Did you feel something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone pulling my fucking hair at the end of it. Out. And mine is gym mirrors.
Go on.
And they're not making you look hench enough.
No, not that. I look great. But
It's the mirrors.
I know why everyone stares at their phones now. It's because everyone's terrified for people to think they're looking at them.
Right.
It's fucking nightmare. So you just look up. I don't want to stare at my phone the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just fucking stare off into the distance
Yeah.
or whatever. And you look in the mirror and accidentally catch someone's eye and you're like, oh,
You're raw dog in the gym.
In a way.
You got-
Yeah, in a way,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I am, yeah. but I don't want to, I might have to go back to just being on my phone or take a book.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't want to be accused of being a pervert because I've looked at the wrong person in the mirror.
You can't look anywhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I get
what you
it.
mean.
Yeah.
You've been caught. is what you're
No.
saying.
No.
You've been caught.
No, I tell you if I've been caught.
Is that why you had to go to that new gym?
No, I've been going to the same one for about a year. But I accidentally caught someone's eye.
Yeah.
And there was an
Horrible.
age. Oh,
What happened?
Yeah,
What happened?
horrible.
We just both looked away.
Yeah.
But it's just not a nice thing. It's anxiety inducing, I would say.
Yeah.
Of course.
Anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
Out.
I've just landed in England after a wedding in Oslo, very, very hungover, probably had 4 or 5 hours sleep. I'm picking up the hire car to drive my family the 7 hours to Cornwall. I get to the thing. Hello, Mr. Bird, have you got ID on you? Yes. Hand over the ID. Okay, thanks, Mr. Bird. I'm just going to do some rudimentary checks. Is this your current address on your driving licence? No, actually, it's my previous one, but that's never been an issue before we're collecting the car. Oh dear, Mr. Bird. Oh dear. Roy, what's our policy with if it's got the old address on? I was like, she's like, right, Mr. Bird. Have you got an invoice, a paper invoice with your current address on it? I was like, no, I haven't. I just landed from a wedding. No, I haven't got a paper invoice. I'm like, oh, okay, Mr. Bird. Oh dear. Okay, Mr. Bird, we're going to have to do an address check. Have you got your national insurance? And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, right, here we go.
An ice age has passed here.
Types in my address. Types in.
We've got another
my
episode to
address
record it.
into the thing. Goes, oh no, Mr. Bird, look at this, you failed. Bangs the screen round. I'm like, oh, you've actually put in the address that's on the card, not my current address. That's what I'm like, oh, Mr. Bird, what am I like, Miss? What am I like? Oh, Roy, he's passed this. What do you do now? So, Mr. Bird, have you got your driver's license check code? I was like, no. She was like, okay, Mr. Bird, okay. Have you got any points on your license? I was like, no, I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I have. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure you nearly went down last year
Yeah, I know.
for a speeding
Well, we'll
fine.
get to that. Anyway.
Didn't pay the Dartford charge.
Anyway.
It's turned into Smokey and the Bandit. He's got fucking hundreds of them looking after him, like the Blues Brothers. All their police cars, fucking.
Well, let me finish.
I'm on 6.
Anyway.
Him and Seb.
Anyway, okay, Mr. Bird, let me just type in this in. Right, then she grabs my phone, gets this code, and she's like, right, Mr. Bird, I'm just going to check. She scrolls down, yeah. I can't see my phone. She scrolls down, and I see her look up at me, and then look back down to the phone, and I'm like, oh, God, what's happening? She looks across at Matilda and Chechi. Chechi's like potty training, doing a piss in the potty. Matilda's like running after her so she doesn't like piss on the floor and that. And she looks back at the phone, and I'm like, oh, God, what's she doing? And she goes, oh, dear, Roy looks at me again. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, I think we have got a problem, haven't we, Mr. Bird? And I was like, why? And she turned it round and it said like evading police capture, 18 to 21 points. Stealing a vehicle, using a stolen vehicle, 15 points. Driving through red lights relentlessly, 21 points. And I was like,
Well, I've done all of that, but I didn't steal one.
yeah. I was like, I think you're just looking at the points that you can get if you commit any of those offences. And she was like, oh, right, yeah, Mr. Bird, no, you're right. Sorry, yeah, you've just got 3 points from last year. Yeah, that's fine. She looked at me like I was a career Grand Theft Auto criminal.
Yeah.
And then looked across at Matilda and Chetty like, are those people okay? Do they know who they're travelling with?
Who is this fugitive?
Yeah. I slept for like 3 hours. I've got a 7-hour drive ahead of me.
And why is he hiring a car? Why has he just fucking stolen one after all he's done so far? Celebrities reading audiobooks. I've got into audiobooks recently, but I don't need. I got downloaded Slaughterhouse-5. I don't want James Franco doing it. It takes me out of it because then I just think
quite interested in that. Actually.
Isn't he a baddie?
Oh yeah. Mega cancelled.
Yeah, because of that mainly. So I thought Kurt Vonnegut was going to be reading it. That's what someone had said on Reddit. This is the best version.
Yeah.
Like him reading it. So I just downloaded the first one I saw on Audible. Fucking Franco. Ruined it.
I can't imagine Kurt sitting in the
Well,
in the studio.
Isn't he like?
Can you not read or something?
I can read, but
Well, fucking read then.
I've just had a go.
Fucking
at 'em.
audiobooks.
I've only done 2.
You're not fucking influenced,
What
are
else
you?
have you done?
Or you're not blind.
Well, I've obviously read 1984, but I thought I'd try that.
Who's reading that?
Andrew Garfield, Tom Hardy.
Oh.
It's not my new thing, but I'm just saying
You know what
celebrities reading them.
Why are you downloading such depressing books?
Well, the first
can
one I
tell-
did was David Lynch, his autobiography.
You know
But he
what-
was reading.
Oh yeah, actually, I've been listening to.
He was reading.
Slaughterhouse 5.
A little book called
Get the fucking-
1984. Don't know if you've heard that.
Get the famous five or something. Just fucking have some fun.
Well, you know,
I bet he's got Marcus Aurelius Stoicism quotes on his wall. And I bet you fucking
my
have.
My brother, he's more like that. The David Lynch one
felt
was
tip on
funny.
his radiator. God, that was a long time
What
ago.
I'm saying is, you should just do autobiographies as an audiobook because it's
Okay,
the person who's.
this has been reminding you why you love football. I've been Owen Blackhurst.
hours.
He's been James Bird. He's been Tommy Stewart. Fucking on we go. We've been at Spiritland. Thank you very much.
We've got to do another one now.
We've got all sorts. Yeah, we have. We've got all sorts of things coming out. Magazines. Another magazine. Don't even know. Don't know where we are. Thank you. Bye. Reminding You Why You Love Football is a MUNDIAL and Football co-production. Produced by Tommy Stewart and Seb White, hosted by me, Owen Blackhurst, and recorded on the run.